Hey y'all, it's your girl Angel Marie. Welcome back to No Boundaries. Today we have some real deep conversation for y'all. I hope y'all ready. All right, y'all. Today I have some amazing people with me. On my left, I have Jordan. We have the lovely Kennedy and Miss Brandy. Thank y'all so much for y'all time and coming out for this open discussion. How y'all feeling today?
Pretty good.
Good.
I want the real answer. How you feeling?
A little nervous.
A little nervous?
Yeah.
Don't be. We're not going to bite.
We're ready to get into it.
How you feeling, Kennedy?
I'm feeling ready to talk.
Ready to talk? That's your favorite saying. Ready to talk.
Ready to talk.
She got some things to discuss.
Things to get off your chest.
Okay.
All right, well, on top of just saying how you feeling, we're going to get straight into it.
Okay.
Now, today we're going to get a little deep. It's going to be real conversation and real feelings. I want to know, how do you all deal with emotional stress as you get older and you kind of recognizing, all right, I might be 25, I might be 35, I might be 40, 50, whatever, and I'm not where I want to be at in life. How do you deal with those? We'll start with you, Jordan.
I try to always just, I guess, manage my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, try not to compare with everything that I'm seeing, like, especially from people like my age. So I just try to, like, always reset and be like, okay, I'm where I'm at this very moment, like where I'm supposed to be. So try to, like, just keep that level-mindedness and not try to compare myself to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
To add on to what Jordan says, I would also say just not focus on anyone else's journey, because everyone's journey is individualized for them and to them, so they can learn what they need to learn. I would also say just keep going for it, even if there's something, even if, you look back and like, oh, I regret this, I could have did this, could have did that. You can either focus on that or just continue to keep moving forward and have compassion for yourself.
Ooh,
And yeah, that's what I do.
I love that. Compassion for yourself. Brittany?
I like to reflect on my personal decisions because I feel like your decisions are an outcome of where you are. So if you don't take time to reflect on the decisions, you won't make better ones in the future.
That is true.
And then give myself grace, of course.
Amen.
Give myself space to feel, but then also get back in the ring and keep going.
Yeah, I like that. Give yourself grace. I like that one. For me personally, like, because I know I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead, 10 years ahead, and I'm only 32. I'm like, I ain't got no husband. I ain't got no baby. Shit, I ain't even got a house right now. And so it's hard to be like, sometimes that pressure and that stress you put on yourself can be a lot. And just, you gotta be like, you know what? I might not have those things, but what I do have is just amazing. It's for me. You know what I mean? I have a little career. I have a little podcast, and I'm around people I love. So even if it ain't the romantic love I'm looking for, I have people that I love and are around me. So, I have to just step back and appreciate those moments when I'm feeling like I ain't where I should be, or ideally what society says I should be.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So, I would hope we're not lying to ourselves, but sometimes it's easy to live in our delusion, right?
Facts.
So, what is one lie y'all feel like y'all tell yourself sometimes? I go first.
Okay.
I'm like, girl, you ain't as big as you think you is. It's just the outfit. It's the clothes. It is not you.
That is funny. So that's the lie you tell yourself.
I mean, so you ain't really gaining weight. The weight gaining you. That's my little delusional. What's a lie you tell yourself?
That I'm where I'm supposed to be right now. Back to the last question. Nah, seriously, what is a lie that I tell myself? It honestly might be that. Yeah, that was a little slippage from the truth. So, yeah, because I guess it's kind of going back to that last question.
Being a grown man.
Like, for real. Like you said, being 30, it's like, okay, you're supposed to have X, Y, Z by this time, but it's like, shit. In the time we living in now, it's like different.
Right.
Like, 75K ain't what it was 20 years ago. So it's like,
20.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you really just gotta kind of just reevaluate and then go from there. But also it's like, I feel like I should be doing more. So I would say that's kind of like the lie I kind of been telling myself.
That's them.
Yeah. For
Sorry.
sure.
Now, the first step is acceptance and
Absolutely.
admitting.
Absolutely. It's
So,
true.
can
Clap
we?
it up for that, man. Clap it up for that. For both of us.
I'm gonna get to where I need to go.
Absolutely.
You gonna get to.
Absolutely.
Kennedy, do you have any delulus, lies you tell yourself?
I would say the biggest lie I tell myself is that I don't care.
No. My bad. Y'all know that's my sister.
Teared
So.
up.
But that's real talk.
Yeah, I'm a very sensitive person, and I try to convince myself or gaslight myself sometimes that what I'm feeling is invalid. So I feel like that's the biggest lie.
Yeah.
I'll tell myself.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. So are you gonna be like doing things now that you recognize that? Are you prepared to do things to kind of be like, all right, it's okay to be sensitive? And I think that's what the world needs, more sensitive people. Because then
More
if
empathy.
everybody's walking around acting like
For
they don't
sure.
care,
Yeah.
and it's like it's just a careless world, and everybody dying on the inside.
Yeah.
So like,
That's definitely what I'm working toward. I feel like as of late, I've been feeling a lot of emotions in regards to that and just releasing. So I definitely want to be more in tune with how I feel and expressive. So working towards it for sure.
yeah, we're gonna get you a shirt that says "sensitivity is needed."
Yes. Period.
That's
That part. Franny, you got any little delulus?
I do. I tell myself that I do everything at my own pace, you know, but I really procrastinate.
I like the way you said it though.
No,
I'm just
for
doing
real.
it at my own pace.
That's real. That's real.
Yes.
And it's really like, I could have been did that a week ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, that's so real.
So are you currently looking for any new steps to take to not procrastinate?
Do it right then.
Yeah.
Just do it in a moment,
Yeah.
and it's working. Now those other things that I just do like putting off. I think I'm gonna have to hire somebody to do those things.
Yeah. Delegation is important though.
Yeah,
Especially
so I need resources.
as we become independent, and I mean we are independent and business people and in control of our own lives. Delegating, what I realized, is letting go of that self-control and letting somebody else handle it. It helps you get ahead. It might not be
How you want to do it?
not initially.
May not be exactly what you're looking for, but yeah.
Yeah, especially in my where my position is in life, I'm always like, all right, Angel, either you're gonna try to do all 20 things today, which you know you're not gonna do, or you're gonna share some of this responsibility, even if it's gonna cost you, but in the long run, it helped you. So,
Yeah. Sure.
speaking of procrastination, do y'all feel like social media hinders you at all when it comes to like life and career choices and paths?
I do. Yeah, for sure. Most definitely.
I think we all can agree.
Yeah. I don't think we got to expound on that. Nah,
Well,
but
we like to expand
nah,
a little bit.
definitely. I definitely think it does hinder you. Like I could think back to a time where I wasn't on social media as much, and I felt like I was more productive, like just in everything that I was doing. So, just in that phase, like seeing, okay, I'm spending 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours on, social media scrolling versus something I can be doing more productive to, help me reach my goal.
Right.
So it definitely does help in procrastinating when you get into where you want to.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Like, I feel like anytime it's a challenge or either an emotional challenge or just some challenge that comes up when pursuing my goals, sometimes I resort to social media to distract me from the emotions that come with it. So I definitely think it hinders. And also as an artist, I feel like it can be oversaturated, and it kind of overly consuming can take away from creating original ideas. So
I should agree to that. Now I just said I agree.
You like,
I'm
that's
like,
all I
yeah.
got for you.
Yeah.
Social media is a complete distraction.
Yeah.
Completely.
And then it's like, it's unfortunate because in one sense, it is a complete distraction. But on the other sense, we going to be posting this and we expect y'all to watch it.
Absolutely. Be
Support,
distracted.
share, and comment.
Okay.
Facts.
But so it's like, it's a good and bad thing to it. It's
Yeah.
just like creating your own limitation to how you want to use it. Like, Are you using it to be inspired? Are you using it and feel it? Because I know people who literally get off of social media and are depressed, and it's just like it shouldn't have that much control over you because at the end of the day, it's a fantasy. People are putting out there what they want you to see.
But that's not their real lives.
It's not. It's like, why the hell I'm gonna put? I mean, there are some people that be on there showing you every little piece of their life, but you would never see Angel Marie Thornton on there crying about no Negro. You would never see me on there beefing with some family, like fight. It'd be too much.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
And like for me, like some people can't even go throughout the day without, like for me, not to say I'm just like got this shit figured out, but like I'm the type of person when I'm working, I don't be on Instagram at all. And there's some people who are like, shit,
You gotta be on.
gotta check my phone. Somebody sent me a notification, and it's just like, I don't know. For me, it's just like you said, it could be oversaturated, and then it's like when you know people and you like, they really capping. Like that ain't your life, that ain't your car, that ain't your bitch, that ain't your apartment. It just becomes too much. And in the comment, you look at the person crazy too. Like, we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like
Comments off.
literally, I just seen this one girl. She had a little bumper accident. Sorry, girl, if you watch this. But she posted about her little car accident. Everybody was like, you don't go put some duct tape on there and call it a day. But, you know, she started asking for a GoFundMe and support and stuff. And everybody's like, well, shit, you was just in a fucking, what was it? One of them real expensive cars, a Bentley or something like that. But now you need help.
Yeah.
And math isn't nothing.
No.
It don't make sense.
Trying to keep up with the Joneses.
All right. So, you know, for anybody who might just be watching this and like trying to figure out how do you maneuver in this life and how do you stay true to yourself, what would be your like tip to them?
How do you maneuver in this life? and
Especially
stay
when they
true
come to Atlanta.
to
They're like, I want to come
yourself?
to Atlanta and I want to be Jordan. How does Jordan keep his cornrows?
You can't be me. You can only be yourself,
That's
man.
a good question.
You can only be yourself, and that's one thing I think everybody just got to understand. Like, trying to, there's only one of you. Even if you have a twin, it's still only one of you. So you have to just be the best version of you. And just really understand that, like, wholeheartedly. Don't try to be anybody else. You can, like, look up to people, but try to take certain things or aspects, but at the end of the day, it's still always just going to be yourself. So
Okay.
that's what I'd say.
Kennedy?
I would say to maneuver through life, just be authentic, be compassionate, and don't give up. Even when you think you fail, it's never really failure if you gain a lesson from it.
That's
So,
true.
Yeah.
Randy?
I would say those, I agree with both of those, stay true to yourself. But like, identify your goals, identify your community,
Right.
and stay focused on those things because you'll get lost in the sauce. If people still say that word. But,
She acting like auntie right now.
Showing our ages, nah.
Right.
but it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to stay true to who you are as a person
Yeah.
and stay goal oriented because hanging around the wrong people will get you in the wrong spaces, but hanging around the right people, which is your community, will keep you thriving and on path. So
Right.
if you
Yeah.
mean business, be about your business. What they say, stand on it.
Stand on it.
Facts.
And that's the thing too. Don't be afraid to cut people off. Like in life, you're gonna go through so many different trials and tribulations, and like everyone's not gonna be on that journey with you. Like you
Facts.
got to be okay with saying, "All right, I enjoyed our
Yeah.
company, I enjoyed our friendship, and this is where it ends." So for me, like maneuvering through this life is knowing how to let go and continue moving forward, and also just be your damn self. Be
right.
bold. Shit, not everybody gonna wear a mullet, but here I am.
And you look good, girl.
Thank you.
Look good,
Thank
yeah.
you. Let's have some
Shit.
Victorian.
Okay.
But you know, because people gonna talk shit whether you look good, whether you look busted, whether you ugly, whether you fat, skinny. It don't even matter.
Yeah.
People gonna find a reason. So just be
Thanks.
yourself. And if it don't sit well with you, don't do it.
Yeah.
Your intuition is like your biggest blessing from, I gotta say it, from God to me.
Amen.
Anyway, these are just like a couple little hot topics that I want to discuss because you know the world be real picky and pick-me-shous. Is that what they say? Pick-me-sh?
Pick Misha.
Pick-me-sha about certain topics and things.
I don't know that
Do
one.
y'all feel like the world is more forgiving for women who abuse men versus men that abuse women?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. A woman can say, a man did XYZ and not too much investigation will go into it. They'll just take her word for it.
Right.
And history has shown that that is true.
Yeah. What do you think?
I agree. I think that it's not taken as serious if a man is being abused by a woman just because of the physical differences from man and woman. I think that's why people kind of just like, oh, really?
Brush it off.
Getting abused by a woman?
Yeah.
Like, what? You a man?
Exactly.
But
I was gonna
abuse
say
isn't
that.
just physical though.
Yeah, it's
That's
verbal.
So a
It's
woman
true.
can be abusive to a man
Right.
emotionally.
Are you referring to physical or all
on
abuse?
all realms, too. Even shit, sexual. If a man goes to the report, I've been raped, people gonna look at him
Look
crazy,
at him crazy.
especially if you say a woman did it.
From a man's perspective, yeah, anytime you like say that, then you're automatically gonna be looked at as weak, regardless of whether it's verbal, physical, mental, spiritual. It's all gonna be like, bro, man up. That's gonna be
Right.
basically the response you're gonna get, man up. So versus the opposite, woman says, she's been abused in any kind of way. It's gonna be one, taken more seriously, and it won't be like, oh, she's crying wolf. It's like there's gonna be some like, okay, let's
Right.
dig a little deeper versus.
And you might get beat up in jail, even if it's not true.
Facts. That's very true.
Which is unfortunate. I definitely think like I always say, if I have a son and a woman puts his hands on her, hey, baby.
But what are you telling them?
I'm just kidding.
Heard it here first.
Put in the headlock and call me. Because why you put your hands on my son? But no, I always for me, even myself, when it comes to that point where I got to put my hands on you, I'm walking away. Because now you bringing out a side of me that I don't even need to just be in. If you make me that tense and that angry, I don't need to be with you.
Facts.
I agree.
And then, we can't blame people. We got to be responsible for our own actions and how we respond in anger as well.
Yeah.
Which I think is an interesting thing because nowadays, the younger generation, they don't stand for nothing. Back then, we used to get cussed out,
Whoopings.
whooped with switches,
Man,
belts. The young generation
Just seeing that earlier.
don't stand for it. So, what do y'all think? How do y'all even think that difference came about? Do you think it was our generation was like, all right, I'm not going to do to my child what that person did to us? Or do y'all think it was the new kids are how did they even come? The shift?
I think society. There's a social change that happened.
But where did it stem from?
Where did it stem from? I think just people questioning more stuff. Like you said, I feel like kids born before 2000s. We got the whoopings. We got, discipline in school, whether it was from teachers or whatever it may have been.
Teachers just can whoop you. I mean, principal.
There was a different, I want to say, probably a level of respect too between authority and I guess minority in that aspect. There was hierarchy, but now it seems like there's more. Okay, I have my voice, and I feel like it should be on the same playing field as this person. So it's not really. It's a blend of hierarchy, I think, and it's getting kind of mixed up together to where it's you can't even distinguish who should be leading versus who should be following. And I think that's where it kind of shifted.
Can you do what you think?
I think that our generation kind of just became more conscious of what that stems from. I personally think a lot of whoopings, especially in people of color in their households, stems from slavery. And so it's more for me, whooping your kids is trying to dominate them, have power over them. And personally, that goes against love. I don't think abuse and love can coexist in a household, personally. And I think whooping your kids is abusive. And I also think it stems from religion as well, because in the Bible, it does say that too.
I don't think it's whoop your kids.
This is the ways of a child is foolishness, but the rod will drive them far from it. I don't really.
But is that the New Testament or the Old Testament?
It's the old, but people. That's why it says religious. Religious. I think people who are religious follow the Old Testament, and people who are spiritual don't. So it's a difference. But I think that's where the switch came from. It's just people being more conscious. I think as we evolve as humans, we become more and more conscious of what's going on and why it's going on and what it stems from.
Right.
So,
Brandy.
The switch for me, I would say, personally, that I am a parent, so it's like I took the time to go to therapy, and that's where it stemmed from for me. Like I was able to identify my childhood traumas through therapy, and it made me a better parent. Like I don't whip my daughter. Now that's not to say she hasn't gotten a whooping.
Right.
We're gonna clear that. She has gotten a whooping before, and it was warranted. But I think that when you communicate with your kids, you teach them that their voice is valid.
Right.
In the Black community, like we teach, well, parents taught their kids, like, you know, don't ask questions, and you shut their voice out, and you teach them that they don't have a voice. So then when they go into society, they operate the same way. They're afraid to ask for a raise when they know they've been with this company for how many ever years, you know? So I think that's important. I want my child to be confident, you know?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
And I think too, for me personally, I just kind of feel like it's not one generation at all. It's just like a trickle effect, because at the end of the day, it's like you can't teach nobody what you don't know. And like even like as an adult, it took me becoming an adult to be like, all right, my parents was super young when they had me. I couldn't even imagine having 3 kids at 21 years old. So, and then they had their parents who probably dealt with slavery and all this other stuff, or not slavery, but necessarily the trickle effect from slavery and being turned. Yeah,
because it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago, and our grandparents saw the ending of it. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just like becoming an adult and recognizing, like, all right, you didn't know no better. You only knew what your parents taught you, and they only knew what their parents taught them. You know, and it's just like learning to break that cycle. And it may take. Maybe I didn't get it the first 15 years of my life, because I definitely was tearing some ass up with my nieces and nephews.
Running those kids whooping?
Yes, I had to babysit. So yeah, I mean, but I was taught, hey, you don't listen, get a spanking, huh?
How old are you keeping these kids?
Oh, I was like, I babysit like literally my entire life, at least from like 19 all the way
I thought you
up.
were saying like you were like 15, 16, keeping the 7-year-olds, and they're like being bad, and you will be.
Oh yeah, that too. yeah.
Everybody
I mean, it's probably these last, maybe me becoming an adult and actually recognizing, like, all right, shit, like, you know, and I studied psychology in class too, and learning negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement, and just having a broader view of like, okay, this ain't necessarily the way you got to go about
Everything.
Yeah, or even trying to get your child to do what you want them to do. You know what I mean? My parents were, hey, what the hell I told you? Oh, okay, you ain't do it. Go pick out your switch.
Yep.
Pick out my switch.
And our level of communication go a long way.
Yeah.
Like, look at your kids when you're talking to them. Don't talk to the back of their head, the side of their head, or even just like that fiddling that kids do, because I don't know, it just kind of like they're not listening to you at that point, and then it influences you to want to yell, and then you go on and on and on, and it don't stop. So you have to manage the environment in which you talk to your children. And that way you don't result to whooping. And
what I recognize too is like, all right, if I'm teaching you this is how you resolve issues, then guess what? You're going to go out there and resolve that issue with somebody else by putting your hands on them. Yeah. And it's like, all right, communication really does go a long way.
It does.
You know, and working on patience and I think that's the thing too, like you say, how you raise your children and going to counseling and recognizing, all right, this is why I'm so short-tempered, this is why I easily tick, this is why this. So it really takes doing that inner work, you know, and then forgiving your parents for what they lacked at, you know,
without their sorry, because a lot of our parents are stubborn, they're not going to say sorry.
They don't even think they did nothing wrong.
No, so you have to forgive them for your peace and for your growth.
Yeah. We're going to another topic for another day. Yeah. They be delulu like, girl, I did the best I could. You turned out all right.
Or they just don't remember. They're like, I did that? Yeah, Mom, you whooped me with that orange extension cord. That's why I had to touch them today.
And you don't even realize they become trauma.
Yeah.
A trickle effect. So anyway, and one thing I'm happy to see is like the Black community actually getting the counseling they need and knowing that it's nothing wrong.
This stuff.
Talk about it. Man being more vulnerable. Do you feel like you're vulnerable?
But also women creating that soft space where men can be vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of women don't know how to create that space for a man.
And it's because they wasn't taught it or they didn't see it.
And it's not sex either, ladies. So
yeah.
Better.
And I see the comments sometimes, like women be like, oh, like the way women be, the expectation women have on men be so crazy sometimes. And I be like, and you wonder why he cheated. But not saying cheating is right.
It's not.
But I'm saying I can see why some men be like, damn, give brother a break.
Yeah. I mean, I feel it's easier for men to open up to men versus women. Just because, like, we have a general understanding of what it's like. Just like I'm sure women, it's easier to open up to women. Like, y'all may have like salon talks and what we call barbershop talks. And it's just like, oh, I get it.
But that's not what y'all talk about in the barbershop. Tell the truth.
I mean, we talk about a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't even talk about stuff in the barbershop. But not to say it's like barbershop physical, but that mentality of just being able to be vulnerable with people that look like you. And like, yeah, we'll talk about all kind of stuff just from like, from hurt and stuff. Because it's, I don't know. I think for men, it's like you don't want to show that sense of vulnerability to a woman because at the same day, Larry may have a soft space, but it also may be weaponized.
She treat you differently.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, why are you being so soft? You're supposed to be this, because we all have ideas of what our partner or the opposite sex is supposed to be anyway. So
right,
but
like,
that comes with maturity. You have to know who you are venting to. Not every woman can take on the emotions and even the, just the bravery that it takes for a man to be vulnerable with you in that manner. That should be respected.
Absolutely, I definitely agree.
So do y'all feel like that's a black issue or an all around people issue?
I think it's all around.
I think it's all around.
Yeah, I think it's all around.
Karen, get out too.
I think it's more. I think it's more heightened in our community versus others. Just because that dynamic. I mean, we see it all the time. When they usually say like man versus woman, they usually are putting our community in that. It's like the faces of it versus another. Anyway. Exactly.
And I think it's unfortunate though, because some men will be like, oh, well, a white woman is more soft or this, and it's like, well, you just taking the fact all the things the black woman even been through in her life. That white woman might have had an easy, joyful life versus the black woman went through the same thing you went through, or worse.
Then you only hurt people that's around you. So if that's some person that you're seeing constantly, then that's the people that you're usually going to put your anger towards or abuse towards as well, versus somebody that you're not really around. So that's also a factor, I would say, in that too.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it just has to do with people's emotional intelligence. Because me personally, if a man is not vulnerable, or he's just super like, oh, I don't have emotions because I'm a man, or
hyper masculine.
Yeah, that's such a turn off for me, because I need that sensitivity and vulnerability to even feel close to that person. So. And I feel like it's just, you can't really have a true deep love if you're not vulnerable. At that point, it's just a superficial love. So personally, I think it's more of an emotional intelligence thing. Yeah.
That's why I was like, you have to know who you're venting to. If she's not emotionally intelligent enough to take on what a man is, vulnerable enough to stay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, I definitely enjoyed this conversation today. Like, this is, I feel like, something needed for people to see. And just, like, I look forward to having even more in-depth conversations. Like, it's good to laugh. It's good to have fun. But at the same time, we got to feed the people real shit and real emotions and emotional intelligence. But, yeah, so, like, definitely let everyone know how they can follow y'all and keep up with y'all. Jordan?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Sorry I'm Away. All one word, no spaces.
Okay, y'all can follow me on Instagram at OOTWVP. Yeah.
Hey, y'all can follow me. I'm Bella Brandy on Instagram _. So if you like hair, follow me.
Yeah. And so, I appreciate y'all for coming, stopping through, and just having some real conversation. I totally enjoyed this. Yeah, and so as always, we need y'all to make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Can't do what we want. I mean, we can still do it, but hey, we need a little LOVE. Anyway, so yeah, until next time, bye.